All right, everybody, welcome to MIA interview number one. Today I'm with my buddy Joe, who I got hooked on MIA. And so Joe's studying Spanish, but I'm going to let him introduce himself a little bit. Joe, why don't you give us a little bit of an introduction?
Hey, so I'm Joseph, and I actually just hit, I think the end of this month is my 6 months of doing this MIA type of learning activity, and I just hit 150 hours too. It's a pretty big accomplishment. So I tried, a lot of times different things, Duolingo, just like whatever stupid like learning books you find, or, we did, of course, we had to do 2 years in high school here in Texas. And it's really not that good, obviously. So I found something that actually works, and I like it, and it makes sense. And I'm progressing so much faster than I ever did on any other thing that I tried before. So thank you
Yeah.
for showing me.
Yeah, man. Well, thank the internet, dude. I wouldn't have found anything without it. So, but yeah, that was like 10 years worth of research. And then I found frickin' MIA and started, doing better, even though I half-assed it. But yeah, so you mentioned you had 6 hours and I'm sorry, 6 months and 150
Month.
hours.
Right.
So what would you break that like hours into? Are you talking about active immersion there? Is that just watching TV shows
So,
or?
I've been doing like been tracking my Anki time separately from like active immersion time.
Okay.
Uh, so I'm at like 40, 50 hours just about on my Anki doing roughly like 10, 15 words a day. So I think in total I'm at like 1,800 words right now total.
Oh, okay. And is that
Uh,
from that 5,000 word deck?
yeah, exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
sweet. Okay.
Yeah, I saw that you like deleted the English,
Yep.
but I didn't. I have front and back, I guess is what they call it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so it's like really like 10,000 cards or whatever. But anyways, it kind of slows me down some, but I think I'm too far deep to change it up now, and it's working. So
Yeah, yeah. I think you're if you're at 1,800, then you're pretty much what at 900 unique Spanish words then. So you're
I'm at
almost at the.
1,800 unique Spanish words.
Oh, okay. So 36,000 cards or 3,600.
3,600.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Wow. All right. So that's like 2,000 words is 80% of the language there. How are you
No, cool.
feeling? How are you feeling?
I feel good. Yeah, I feel pretty good. It's just like I think the biggest thing for me right now is so frustrating is just like the hills and valleys. I'll go from like I'll listen to like a podcast or something like that, and I'll
Mhm.
like understand what they're saying in 2 minutes, and then just like nothing for like a minute or two,
Yeah, dude.
and I just like this or like whatever they're talking about. I just have no idea what they're saying.
So
So
is that a lack of let's say concentration? Is it like you watch 2 minutes, you can understand, and then you can't concentrate on it anymore, or is it that the content just kind of speeds up, or whatever it's content based? Is that what it
I,
is, or?
I think it's kind of a mixture of both, because it's like especially that I'm moving more towards like podcasts. So I've been watching all the kind of like beginner videos, Dreaming Spanish and Espanol con Juan.
Quan one?
But
Yep.
they're easier to follow because they kind of talk about and they do actions and stuff, right? But now I'm starting to get into like podcasts and more advanced videos where there isn't as much visual input. So I think it's a lot more like taxing, and then
Uh-huh.
I'll just get like fixated on one thing, and then I'll get behind because there's kind of like a rhythm and a feel. You can kind of fill in the blanks
Yep.
if you caught up, but if you get like fixated on like one thing, you kind of stop and pause and you get caught behind. If that makes sense.
No, it does. It does. Yeah. I remember when I first started, like, it would just be that the translating words in your head, but you would be on one sentence, you'd be like, yo me llamo, whatever. I am, whatever, I'm an engineer, yo soy un ingeniero, something. I'd be translating ingeniero, but then they had already spoken 5 sentences after that. So
Yeah,
I think it's the translation that kind of slows you down. Do you ever feel like that's kind of happening with you, or how's the process working right now?
I'm translating less and less now, so that's good. But
Yeah.
I still do it. I think now it's more of like, oh, I just learned that word,
Oh, okay.
uh, like a corriente.
Yeah.
current, right?
Yeah. Right.
I just done that, and I heard it like 6 times within like the past
Yep.
2 weeks.
There it is. That's it, man. That's exactly how the process works. So.
So like the first time I'll get all excited when I hear it, and it's like I know that word.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
Cool.
I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I do think a lot of it's just kind of like losing that visual input for me is, I think, been pretty difficult.
Uh-huh.
So you really got to think about it in your head about what's going on. I just think it's harder to do than when you're watching like a video note or
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's definitely recommended, just to kind of keep input as comprehensible as possible. But I still think the number one thing you need to do is just find stuff that you like. But, if podcasts are a thing, then, dude, just keep going with podcasts. But how about reading? I wanted to know, have you been doing any reading whatsoever?
No, I'm holding off on reading some more.
Okay.
I want to get a better knowledge of all the words and stuff. That's still, like I said, only know 80%.
Yeah.
I don't think you should really start reading for what it seems like online till you get up to 95.
Yep.
And then you can get the sentence mining, like concentration. Like people talk about, you get Harry Potter, right? Just something that's a really easy book for, English speakers, right? That we're just accustomed to, right?
Yep.
And you just kind of, your first week, it's going to be like only like 1 or 2 pages a day.
Yeah.
And then, next week it'll be 3 or 4. So I'm not too worried about it. I want to up my vocabulary more. And I plan on reading probably sometime at the end of the year next year, just to where I'm at.
Okay. It's about a year and a half after this, and kind of go hard on reading.
Yeah, 6 more months.
Oh, 6 more.
I think 6 months. Yeah, I think beginning of next year, 2021.
Oh, beginning.
Start reading.
Okay.
And then maybe start doing a little output, but we'll see.
Okay, cool. And have you used anything like Hello Talk, or kind of tried to engage with any native speakers around you?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
No.
Okay.
When did you start doing it?
So I started, immediately within 2 or 3 months. I mentioned in the video recently, how to start learning Spanish. That kind of motivated me because I made friends. I made a friend from Venezuela, and I kept talking to people, even though if it was like really shitty Spanish. I just kept talking. It wouldn't be output practice. I would try to output sometimes, but no, I can't do it. But just developing a relationship with someone like that it motivates you. So it depends. I guess it depends on the personality. If you're more introverted, then you kind of want to do things by yourself, and you kind of get energy from being alone. If you're more extroverted, you love to interact with people. It just depends.
Right.
So
maybe I'll do it a little sooner. Then I was just kind of in no hurry. Like, well, if I understand, I think it'd be better. There's no wrong way to do this, right?
Right. No, there's not. That's the one thing. A lot of people kind of want to have a straight set of commandments, carved in stone. This is how you have to do everything. It's not. You can do whatever. You can use MIA to get to whatever level you want. Just to order a coffee or something. It doesn't matter. I just gave some suggestions on what I would do if I went back, but it's no one's got to follow it. No one's got to do the way Matt says or whoever says.
Right.
So I have a little bit of the question list over here. What's your end game? What's your end game with Spanish? Are you going to be using it for professional purposes, to connect with some culture, or move to a country? What are you thinking?
I think that's kind of one of the main reasons we want to do it, is either do some sort of business development in Latin America, Mexico, or just kind of, me and my wife also just talk about, 10 years or so just going and teaching English in a different country for, but you need to know Spanish. You want to live in Colombia, Mexico, Argentina, Puerto Rico.
Yep.
I think Puerto Rico and I think Puerto Rico for the sake of easiness, right? We don't have to deal with get visas or anything. But other than that, it'll probably be Mexico is probably where we would try. And then, of course, if I'm able to get some sweet engineering job down in Mexico or Argentina,
Yeah.
doing some sort of manufacturing. Now that would be ideal.
Yep.
But we'll
Yeah,
see.
I
But
should
I
mention
think
that. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I just think that I think the like also I think connecting with the culture a little bit more because I'm half Mexican, so I don't know
Okay.
Spanish, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not
Dude, you and me, like,
ideal.
I'm not Mexican, but you know, I'm Indian, but I don't know my parents' language, which is kind of it's shitty to me. I can understand it, but I cannot speak it. So,
I got you.
one day, you know, one day. But I wanted to learn Spanish first and all that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think in game is definitely get to move abroad somewhere, work for a little bit.
okay. And are you planning to learn any other languages after this, or is Spanish it?
Nah, man, it's such a huge time commitment.
It is, dude. Yeah.
Especially I have a kid coming up, so it's like I really want to, learn another language that I'm probably not really going to use a takeaway for the kid,
Right. Right.
But
So, yeah, in terms of that, I mean, you got a busy schedule. You got a full-time job, wife, kid coming. How much time do you spend, you know, with Spanish a day, would you say?
hour and a half has been my average.
And is that
Every
Anki plus active immersion time?
Yeah, usually my cards will be about 150 cards, and they'll take me 20, 30 minutes, and then usually an hour of some sort of immersion, either podcast or
Oh,
YouTube videos.
okay. And is that all at one time, or do you kind of break it up during the day?
I have a little routine. I do my cards in the morning when I
Okay.
first wake up, and then after work, I usually watch a couple YouTube videos for 30 minutes, and then probably about another 30 minutes before I go to bed. So
Okay, cool. So you split it up then.
yeah,
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. In my case, it was the hardest part, just finding routine because my schedule was always. I never really had the 9 to 5 when my first job out of college was
right.
freaking 80, 90 hour weeks, you know, and it was just a weird, wildly changing schedule.
I think
Um,
you're tired all the time.
exactly. Yeah. 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 So like, so you're just a normal guy. Hopefully that's not something offensive, but you're just a normal
Thanks.
guy learning Spanish, you know? Everyone, I think the image that MIA has is you got to be a hardcore language learner, but no, MIA I think is for just the average Joe right there, you
Yeah.
know, and everyone else. So what would you say has been the hardest part of learning Spanish so far, 6 months in?
Oh man, I think finding. I mean, recently it's been more of trying to find content that's like at my level, but I mean, you gotta step up eventually.
Right.
It's kind of how I see it. So, but other than that, it was probably finding time, getting used to it, getting to the habit,
Okay.
just making a new habit, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Developing the habit. Have you read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear by any
Yeah,
chance?
I haven't. I heard you talk about it in the other video, so
Yeah, yeah, I've been reading it. It's been pretty solid. I was planning on making a couple of videos just to kind of well, I want to kind of develop my habits using the book strategies and maybe talk about it. But yeah, it's been pretty useful. I mean, so you said when you wake up, you get your Anki cards early. At lunch, you might watch a couple of videos, and after you go home at night. So you've kind of integrated Spanish into your life in a way that it's easy to
yeah,
follow. Correct?
yeah,
Have you thought
yeah. And
about?
it really,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it really wasn't that. I was just like so like after a month, like I kind of like really wasn't like as committed to it.
Uh huh.
But after a month or two, I started seeing my progress, and I was just like, wow, I'm just gonna. It wasn't as hard of keeping up the habit as soon as I saw like how much progress I
Progress
made
you're
just in a
making.
month, and now, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, man. I guess that's the hardest part. I think delaying gratification with language learning, and it's kind of hard to see the progress because you're just learning things little by little every day. In the beginning, definitely is useful. But yeah, I mean that's the hardest part. So after 6 months, would you say that you're understanding what like maybe 50% of the stuff you're watching, or where would you put your
yeah,
comprehensibility levels at?
uh, yeah. I'd probably say I'm you know, it's all up and down, right? There's some topics I'll understand like 70% of what they're talking about, and then other times it's like 50%. Uh, on the news, like I've been putting on like Telemundo or whatever in the morning
Oh,
just to
okay.
kind of see what's going on the news.
Yeah.
But I think also another thing that I've noticed, it takes a while for me to get used to people's like pace and their
Right.
voice and everything.
Yep.
So I think that's what's been difficult most about the news. But on the news, I get like 30 or 50% of what they're talking about,
That's pretty good, dude. I mean, those guys speak pretty fast.
except for the fast people. Now I'm in.
Okay, here's a good question actually. Have you kind of focused on a certain accent of Spanish? So let's say maybe you're listening more material or audio from Spain or from Latin America.
Yeah. So I've been, of course, listening to like Dreaming Spanish and Espanol con Juan, which
Mhm.
they're Spaniards, right? But I found this other podcast named No Hay Tos,
Okay,
and
yeah,
they're from Mexico. I really like them, so I really think I'm going to try and focus on the Mexican. I mean, we're right here north of the border, you know. So
exactly.
I
Yeah.
think that's going to be learning all of their banter, the slang and stuff they use. So
Yep. Okay, so you're gonna focus on Mexican Spanish from now on and kind of do
yeah,
whatever with
that's
the
what I'm
other.
going to try to look. Yeah.
So you're gonna focus on trying to acquire a Mexican accent too, or is that not important to you?
Yeah, I care more about pronunciation, and
Okay.
I think that then will kind of come afterwards.
Yeah. No, I think you're right
So
too. Um, let's see. We kind of hit everything. It's been kind of a short interview, but after 6 months, there's still, you're still in the beginning stages, I would say, and you're just learning and learning as much as possible, improving every day. If you had to go back and change anything from when you first started, would you change any study kind of method that you use? Would you change anything at
I
all?
I think I tried to go too hard at first.
Too hard?
That's, yeah, I think I tried to like just like max out and be like, oh, I'm gonna do like 40, 50 cards a day. I'm gonna try and listen for like 2, 3 hours. And just like it wasn't like sustainable,
Yeah.
you know,
Hmm.
especially in the beginner stages. And I still think even now, if I ever do anything more than like 2.5 hours, I just notice it's just like so tiring on my brain, you know.
Right. Okay, so
So
just start slow and then ramp up from there.
yeah, I heard
Okay.
someone said like it was one of the language learning people. I don't remember who it was exactly, and they were just like, just remember time's on your side. You don't
Yeah,
need to try and rush out. You don't need to try and rush out and do it in 3 months or 2 weeks like all the other people do on YouTube. You know.
dude, that's a gem right there. Yeah, I definitely agree with that because when I first started, I thought, well, MIA was kind of it's in infancy stage where everyone was just super hardcore. They wanted to, you got to study 5 to 6 hours a day. The rest of the time, you got to be doing passive immersion even when you sleep. I'm like, there's no way in hell I would ever do that ever in my life. So I tried to do at least 2 to 3 hours, but it just wouldn't work, especially with my schedule. And I was doing maybe 30 minutes a day or so.
Yeah.
But you started pretty. You went hard and then kind of backed off a little bit and then kind of integrated it into your schedule, and you've ramped up since then. And you've been how consistent have you been with studying? Do you study every day?
Yeah. So I think I'm on like a 28-day streak right
Okay,
now for on.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't. But I've probably only missed like 3 or 4 days the past 3 months, maybe.
Okay. Okay. Wow,
Yeah.
man, there you go, and and your
Oh, I
progress.
guess the one tip though is you can't skip your Anki. You can skip out on the immersion, but don't skip your Anki because you'll hate yourself when you have a 40,
Yeah,
50 minute.
the reviews, man. I know what you mean. I've
Yeah.
I've had like 700 cards before. Like it was just I just suspended everything. I was like, fuck it. You know what? I'll probably remember these words some other day. But yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, yeah. I guess that was all I had for you here. Would you like to add anything? Where could we find you? Or do you have your own YouTube channel?
Nah, not yet.
Not yet. So are you planning on updating us as you go, or what do you
Yeah,
think?
maybe.
Okay.
I might do it.
Okay. Cool.
Tentative on it, you know. Just
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, yeah. Got other stuff to focus on in life for sure, for sure. Yeah, man. Well, how about we get you on at a year mark again, or even earlier? It doesn't matter. Just let me know. You know.
Yeah, for sure. You know where I am. Hit me up.
Yeah. I
If you
should
want to go
mention that Joe and I know each other in real life, so
yeah,
yeah.
we're
And
both trapped inside a house, so it's not like
yeah,
we can go anywhere.
exactly, dude. Exactly, man. We need to go out and eat soon. But anyways, that's besides the point. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate you. This is my first interview, so you know.
Cool, man. It was nice. It was fun.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I'm signing off. I'm gonna stop recording, but Joe and I are gonna be here. All right. Thanks. Leave some comments, and you know, hopefully Joe and I could answer whatever questions or comments that you have here. And yep. Thanks, guys.